My name is Candace Rose. I chose my graduate's degree right now, clinical community and corporate wellness. I'm in my first class right now. That's going pretty well. And I'm really excited to finish. I never actually thought I would get this far. I started with associates and what do you know? Here I am.
Oh, really? So you started back
Yeah.
with the associates, huh?
Yeah.
What made you jump, I guess, backing up, what made you jump into the associates in general, just thinking, hey, I'm going to go to school, get my associates?
I'm a late bloomer, an adult student. Something college is something that wasn't really attainable to me. I fell in the that midpoint of I couldn't get financial aid, but also didn't like blue collar family. We made enough to just fill in the gaps there. It just never was really a possibility. So I started doing like some certifications with ISSA. Got some email or something about Lionel, how they were connected at some point. Started inquiring. I had been to community colleges prior with no success, and then I found that the Lionel offered the scholarship program. So I applied one evening, really late at night. Kind of had forgotten about it. It was many months later, I got the call and they're like, hey, you got it. And I was like, game on. Okay, let's do this. I thought, okay, I'll get my associates. Hey, that's great. It's paid for. And without that, I don't know that I would have ever been able to like actually fully attend college or be able to afford it.
What made you choose exercise science in general?
I'm always active and I like to help people. I found my niche to be like the older demographics. So I teach like Silver Sneakers right now as group fitness instructor. I've worked in a clinical setting too. I came from a rural area and I seen where health and a lot of the resources were not available. So I really went into the idea that I wasn't actually going to do it for the money, but actually come back and do it for the good of the community and be able to obtain the skill and the leadership to offer free classes. And I've actually done that. I work with a community center, a senior community center, and I volunteer time and teach classes. A lot of them just don't have the resources. They're on a fixed income. It's just something I wanted to give back. And I think that was something I had actually put in my scholarship too. That was why I wanted to get into the program, so I could get back to my community and to the people that the bigger cities and stuff, we got the big fitness centers and stuff like that. I'm in a community now that has a lot of that, but my hometown, not so much. I've got multiple certifications, but I just wanted more and more. It was like this zest to just know more and learn. And I enjoy it, and I've enjoyed my time. And the professors, going back to going to other community colleges and stuff like that, I just didn't really have a good experience. The professors just weren't engaged. They were existing at best. Found that, yeah, and I think a lot of students can back me up on that if they've had experiences similar. But at Lionel, I have never experienced. I've never had a bad experience with a professor or advisor. They're just dead on with helping me and the constructive criticism, and it's just something I've found with them that I didn't find anywhere else because of that, and because of the scholarship opportunity. I just have a loyalty to the university.
I love that. I've been hearing that a lot too with people. Like the faculty makes a big difference.
Yeah, Bob Rollins was one of them. He taught me like the business side of it. I remember like a class where I had to design I think a business plan. So I got some training on that end and I got a lot of training from my professors, just from like the medical side of it, which I have a great interest into, just the constructive criticism in general, the grading, the promptness about it. Like I didn't have to wait weeks to get my grades or get my feedback. And that's really appreciated because it's hard to progress successfully if you don't know where you went wrong.
Yeah, which that makes sense. Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you took advantage of it. And it sounds like you really took advantage of it because you went from an associates, and as soon as you graduated that, what made you feel, okay, I'm going to continue going down this path?
I don't know. It's just when I first started, it was like, okay, this is a sprint. Let's just get this over with. And I think I had an advisor. I'm pretty sure I've had some great advisors. Brandy actually is one of them. She's helped me along the way. And yeah, I remember saying, yeah, hey, yeah, I remember saying it to myself. And I think I actually remember like professors and advisors saying, look, listen, this isn't like a sprint. This is a marathon. And so I started looking at it from like that aspect as, okay, it's slow and steady, and I just slowed my pace and didn't get carried away with it. And it's not as stressful when I guess you look at it from that aspect. You look at it from like a marathon. So, because when I started my associates, I was like, oh my gosh, it's 6 years. There's no way I can do that. But I just did two. And then I was like, okay, what's 2 more years? I survived the other two. And then boom, what's one more year? So I don't know where I'll go from this. I know that I'll forever be a learner. Lionel does like a PhD program. I'm game on.
You went into the bachelor's right after the associates.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
haven't had any gaps.
was there any goal at the end of that, or was it just continuing education just to better perfect your craft?
So after I finished the bachelor's, I got more into like more of the medical side, got over like the course of beginning classes that you have to take as associates. And then I started really getting interest in, I started working in a physical therapy clinic. I got more interested in the clinical side, not so much the corporate, but the clinical side of it. And again, going back to working with my niche of the seniors and the older population. And I just thought, and I seen the clinical community corporate, and I thought, wow, that's so versatile. So that just sets me up for any of the three. But I've gravitated toward more the clinical side, and that's like my long term goal.
Okay. Is
Yeah.
there like a career goal in mind, or a place that you really want to land?
So right now I got hired on with PIA in their weight management program, and it's a little spotty, hit and miss as they get clients, but I'll work as their exercise physiologist. The bachelor's degree actually got me that job. Yeah, I was hired on that. So I start my training actually this coming Wednesday.
Oh, congratulations.
A little short day training with how they want me to do it and take my skills I've learned with Lionel and then connect the dots. And then I could do the group fitness because I have a group fitness cert. I have a CPT, but this position in particular, I remember my boss texted me and she's like, "Do you have your 4 year?" And I was like, "Yes." She's like, "Okay, please, I want you for this job." So it paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
So
had to
what
have.
exactly is the roles and responsibilities?
So I'll go in and I can actually train them that I have the CPT too. So that was good to have that prior. But I'll go in and do their measurements. I'll have to do like a step test and things like that initially. And then I have to follow up with them monthly to make sure that if they're training with me, which will be extra cost for them, that's their choice, then I could work with them in that capacity. But my job as exercise physiologist is just basically take the measurements, get their BMI, get their weight, circumference, things, just the metrics of it, for all that fun stuff. So yeah, so I'm getting a little clinical. I'm not quite ready for cardiac clinical,
Mhm.
but I would like to get to that point. So
Okay.
I think this was a soft entry into you doing some of the things maybe an exercise physiologist would do in a bigger setting like a hospital.
It's really cool. It's really neat. And I'm assuming you enjoy that, right? You have the CPT, which is obviously very focused on personal training, exercises, but this, it sounds like it's obviously less about training. You could obviously add that to it, but
Yeah.
it's a different side of the business.
Yeah, yeah. And then the group fitness, I have never been a group instructor. So and plus I've got a really tough crowd. The older folks, I love them to death, but you want to talk about, they can be your like mentors, but they can also be your worst critic. And so that was really difficult for me to go in and then plus I'm learning to work with like their mobility issues and flexibility and balance. And so I'm hyper focused on that right now and just working on not so much the goal of the aesthetics part of personal training, but just the longevity
That
part.
makes and so obviously bachelor's degree paid off. You were able to find an opportunity. Now that you're going into your master's program, any future desire for a different type of career or just furthering your knowledge and education?
At some point I thought about like maybe nursing or respiratory therapist, but I'm really happy with what I do. I want to be that person that keeps everybody healthy before they make it to the hospital or before they have to see that doctor or follow up with that nurse practitioner. We're all needed in every aspect, but I just want to be that person that promotes health and wellness and diet and things like that, keeps you healthy and living longer and out of the doctor's office. Nobody wants to be at the doctor's office. So I just got to the hospital a week ago and it was not fun. And that was a partially elective at best. Yeah.
I'm excited that you're really trying to make and better your community. So, if somebody was going to come to you and ask, why should I choose Lionel University? What would you tell them?
So I would tell them that I have found a discipline in this college that I have found nowhere else. And I think a lot of it is because the military and the veterans, there's a superiority to how the professors interact, even the students and the peers. I have been in classrooms when I was in other colleges and then online too, where it was A bunch of kids at that that can maybe you can even form a sentence could care less that they were even there. So I'm finding myself in a classroom where people are very serious, and a lot of them are in the military as well. And that discipline just shines both from the peers and both from the professors. And so I can really focus, and I don't have any unnecessary distractions. I'm just happy to be with people like minded.
That's awesome. Well, this has been really helpful. I'd love to just stay in touch with you as you continue your journey down the master's program. How many more months do you have left?
So right now I'm just down to one. I'm just taking one class. Normally I take two, but I'm getting ready to sell my house. We're house flippers. So that's been another great thing about Lionel too, is the flexibility. I'm able to one day I'm sheetrocking, one day I'm walking my dog, and one day I'm doing studies. So there's that flexibility that makes it really nice. And also the flexibility just to dial back and take one class when normally I took two. And that's really helped me like focus on my home life as well.
A little balance, which is
Yeah,
nice.
balance. And then with this surgery and stuff, I've just dialed back and it's worked really well. It's not overwhelming. And the advisors and the professors have just been great, very understanding of that. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And I'm really glad that you're able to take the time to meet up with me to talk through your journey so far.
Thank
It's
you.
not the end. I'm excited to see the future and what it holds for you.